Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Here we go, set, 15, line, 15 line. Check safety, you go tight, you got defense.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion, this is Saquon Barkley. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
And an alley to run. He's got a first down past the 30. 34 yards there and a first down. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
Looking for Shepard deep. This is caught, and he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Sterling Shepard, his second touchdown on the season, and they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Giants have a 7-0 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in this.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Kareem Martin. He's the one that drops him this go-around. And that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
Here we go. 70, Indy. Yo, go. Go.
Jones on 3rd down. Got a man, Slayton. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now Jones. Blitz coming and down he goes. K.J. Wright. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback.
But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh. 54. Watch the screen. Let's go.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. K.J. Wright picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for the loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Let's go now. 50, plant. 55. Check back.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. So on 4th down, on comes the Giants kicker, Aldrick Rosas. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Boy, you sure don't see that too often.
I guess you can't really call anything a gimme, but you figure with his track record, that's a sure thing. But it turns out, it's not the case.
On 1st down, Wilson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. That'll bring up 2nd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Now Wilson on first down. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody cover. Oh, he just stuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Here's Wilson throwing again. They'll find Metcalf. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 19.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, second and 2.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Facing a second and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, second and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On second and goal, Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play.
14.
On third and goal, Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf, his second touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
Let's get it.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Come on.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
In your face.
Throwing, Jones. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Jones. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Giants have taken the lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10.
Tighten up, tighten up. Good job right there. Tempo, tempo.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
52.
They go play action with Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Oh, and now some space to operate. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points. And it's no good. Oh, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Rosas good with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On second down, it's Carson, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Let's go.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
22, jet, bomber. 22, jet, bomber. Gotta go, in and out, let's go.
From the shotgun, Wilson. It's caught, block it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13. Wilson now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's first and 10 here. Throwing is Wilson, and the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
All go special. All go special. 50 seconds to mine.
Play action. It's Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They go play action now. Wilson. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Kareem Martin able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Now here's Michael Dixon. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. From the 38, Jones, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Shaquem Griffin.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah, it's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Look at me, zipper.
Throwing on third and long. Jones. And that's caught inside the 35. They give him a gain of 38. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
A first down carry for Barkley. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Go, go, go. Arizona, 8 read. 54, Mike, 54. Hey, here I come. Here I come.
On 2nd and 9, Jones. And this will be caught inside the 10. What a grab. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Yes. Watching you five. Check. 80 weapon. Hit it.
Looking to throw. Jones. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Check. 55 to mine.
2nd and 13. Jones hit and the ball's out. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Here's Jones. A final shot before break. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Wilson now off the bootleg. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 23 yards the pickup there.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Jennings was the one he was looking for. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll start out on the ground at Saquon Barkley, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Check 13. Check 13. Ready.
This is Shepard on the catch. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Here we go. Set. 10 Lobo. Yeah. You don't want none.
On first down, Barkley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Again, it's Barkley. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Here we go. 15 line. 15 line. Take go.
Now Jones to throw on third down. Being chased out left. And Latimer's got it. A big gain of 31 on third down.
You had to figure they'd take a shot downfield on 3rd and long, so the old cliche came into mind right away for me. Who wants it more? You always hear about receivers, hear about their hands, their moves, their speed. How about the positioning and the desire to go get that one out of the air?
They'll run on first down. Barkley, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Partner, I know my grade school teachers never would believe this, but I can absorb a lesson. I think there's a lesson in this one. He's having a great day running the football, but occasionally they're going to find a way to stop you, aren't they?
Yeah, this time the defense stepped up in what's been so far a tough game for them. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
Here I come again.
A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Wayne Gallman, his first touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Don't throw this way.
His guys take over first and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Set up. 60 outlaw. 54. Mike, 54. Let's go, deep. Let's go.
On first down, Barkley. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
2nd and 6 at the 40-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now.
It's now 4th down.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This from 54 yards away. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that will extend their lead even further. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. The 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. From the gun, Wilson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Now this one complete on the slant route, and he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A gain of 13, it's a 1st down. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up 1st downs and keeping the football.
They'll run on 1st down. Barkley, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Come on, set, 8, read.
They'll go to Barkley again, and he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Now it's Lockett. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Play action. Now Wilson. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? Here's Wilson to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Jennings was the one he was looking for, but it'll be 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 22-yard line. On first down, Carson. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Wilson. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Giants are going to get the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now Saquon Barkley. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On the ground, it's Goldman again. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a fourth down try. But they had to like the feeling that they...
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off near the 34. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed the quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They'll keep it on the ground. Barkley, heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. The Giants on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Jones, and Ingram hauls it in. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Protein spell. Get wide. Rush in. Rush in. Rush in. Ready.
They'll keep it on the ground. Barkley. And he's going to ball his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call, so they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride. And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Now it's Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. So he actually goes back about 9 yards on the return, but the interception is clean, and they have the pigskin, and they take over. Down to a knee goes Jones, and that should just about seal it.
Okay, ready?
So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And say what you want about CenturyLink Field up in Seattle, but for my money, this is the loudest and most difficult place to win in the league.
It's very hard. The fan support, off the charts. The way that they make noise and understand when to make noise, they understand the game as well as anyone. And how about what we get in our media packets when we start preparing for the game? They have it in their own stuff, right? The number of offsides penalties, false start penalties that they draw against the opposing team because of that fan support. And last but not least, they designed the stadium to keep the noise in, and it works.
But not in this one. They were able to somehow come in here and get that victory. So for the Giants, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know